everybody. Amrita Civil Services Education Programmലേക്ക് ഏവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. സിവിൽ സർവീസസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാവരുടെയും ഒരു വലിയ സ്വപ്നമാണ്. ചെറിയൊരു കാര്യവുമല്ല അത് കിട്ടുന്നത് നമുക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാം. 3 മെയിൻ സ്റ്റെപ്സ്: പ്രിലിംസ്, മെയിൻസ് ആൻഡ് ദി ഫൈനൽ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ. അതിലും പ്രിലിംസിനും മെയിൻസിനും പഠിക്കാൻ ഒട്ടും എളുപ്പമല്ല. എങ്കിൽ കൂടി നമുക്കറിയാം ടെക്സ്റ്റ് ബുക്ക് നോളജ്, പിന്നെ വാസ്റ്റ് റീഡിംഗ്, ഇതെല്ലാം നമുക്ക് എങ്ങനെ പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്യണം എന്ന് അറിയാം. പക്ഷേ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ ഫേസ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് എ നോളജ് ടെസ്റ്റ്, ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് എ പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റി ടെസ്റ്റ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ നമുക്ക് ബുക്കുകളിൽ നിന്നുമൊക്കെ അപ്പുറം ത്രൂ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് മാത്രമേ നന്നായി ഇന്റർവ്യൂവിന് നമുക്ക് പെർഫോം ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. അമൃത ഒരുക്കുന്ന ഒരു ഇന്റർവ്യൂ, മെയിനിന്റെ മുമ്പുള്ള ഒരു സെമി മെയിൻ ഇന്റർവ്യൂ ആണ് ഇത്. അതിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ പാനലിൽ വളരെ എമിനന്റ് ആയ കുറച്ച് പേഴ്സണാലിറ്റീസ് ആണുള്ളത്. ഇന്നത്തെ പാനലിൽ ചെയർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ശോഭ കോശി മാഡം, IPS, ഇന്ത്യൻ പോസ്റ്റൽ സർവീസ്; Rahul R, IRS, Managing Director, Kerala Academy for Skills Excellence; John Samuel, Advisor, UNDP; N. Prashant, IAS, Collector, Calicut. ഒപ്പം ഡോക്ടർ K. Ampadi, IIS, Managing Director, Kerala State Coastal Area Development Corporation Limited. Hi Akhila.
Hello.
How are you today?
Fine. In the Civil Service Academy, Amrita interview പങ്കെടുക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞ തീർച്ചയായും സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്.
Okay, great. So അഖില കണ്ണൂരിൽ നിന്നാണല്ലേ?
അതെ.
ഓക്കെ. ആരൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട് വീട്ടിൽ? അഖിലയെ കുറിച്ച് കൂടുതൽ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒന്ന് പരിചയപ്പെടാൻ ഞങ്ങളെ കൂടുതലൊന്ന് ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യൂ.
ഞാൻ ഗ്രാജുവേറ്റ് ഇൻ BSc കെമിസ്ട്രിയാണ്. മാർവാനസ് കോളേജിൽ നിന്നായിരുന്നു. ഇത് സിവിൽ സർവീസിലെ ആദ്യത്തെ ശ്രമമാണ്.
ഫസ്റ്റ് അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് ആണ്. Awesome. Okay. So മാർവാനസ് നിന്നാണല്ലേ പഠിച്ചത്? ഏതായിരുന്നു സബ്ജക്ട്?
കെമിസ്ട്രി ആയിരുന്നു.
കെമിസ്ട്രി ആയിരുന്നു. ഓക്കെ. സിവിൽ സർവീസിൽ ഓപ്ഷണൽ സബ്ജക്ട് എടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നത്
മലയാളം ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ.
ഓക്കെ. എന്തുകൊണ്ട് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു, കാരണം ഓപ്ഷണൽ സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് മുൻപ് ഒരുപാട് പേരുടെയൊക്കെ കൺസൾട്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടല്ലേ എടുക്കുക? കാരണം ഏതാണ് സ്കോർ ചെയ്യാൻ എളുപ്പം, പിന്നെ നമ്മുടെ കോൺഫിഡൻസ് ലെവൽ ഏതാണ്, എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഈ ഒരു സബ്ജക്ട് തിരഞ്ഞെടുത്തത്?
മലയാളത്തിന് നല്ല സബ്ജക്ട് എക്സ്പേർട്സ് നമ്മൾ കോച്ചിങ്ങിന് ഇവിടെ തിരുവനന്തപുരത്ത് ഒരുപാട് ഓപ്ഷൻസ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പിന്നെ തീർച്ചയായും മലയാളത്തോട് ഇതിനോട് താല്പര്യമുള്ളൊരു വിഷയമായിരുന്നു. അതാണ് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ഓപ്ഷണൽ സബ്ജക്ട് തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കാനുള്ള ഏറ്റവും വലിയ മാനദണ്ഡം. നമ്മൾ കംഫർട്ടബിൾ ആയ സബ്ജക്ട് ആയിരിക്കണം നമ്മൾ ഓപ്ഷണലായിട്ട് തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കുക.
ഓക്കെ. അപ്പം നമുക്ക് മാക്സിമം കോൺഫിഡൻസ് ഉള്ള ഒരു സബ്ജക്ട് എടുക്കുക എന്ന രീതിയിലാണ് അത് എടുത്തത് അല്ലേ? ശരി. സോ എന്നാണ് ശരിക്കും ഈ ഒരു സിവിൽ സർവീസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു കരിയർ ആയിരിക്കണം എൻ്റെ ലൈഫിലെ എൻ്റെ കരിയർ അതാണ്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ലെറ്റ് മീ ജസ്റ്റ് ഗിവ് ഇറ്റ് എ ഗുഡ് ട്രൈ എന്ന് തോന്നിയ ഒരു അവസരം എപ്പോഴായിരുന്നു?
സ്കൂളിൽ നിന്ന് ടീച്ചേഴ്സാണ് ഇങ്ങനെ ഇതിന് ശ്രമിക്കണം എന്ന് മോട്ടിവേറ്റ് ചെയ്തത്. അന്ന് തൊട്ടാണ് ആഗ്രഹം തോന്നിയത്.
എന്താണ് പ്രതീക്ഷ ഈ ഇന്റർവ്യൂവിൽ നിന്നും?
തീർച്ചയായും അത് സിവിൽ സർവീസ് ഇന്റർവ്യൂവിന് സഹായകരമായിരിക്കും എന്ന് തന്നെയാണ് വിചാരിക്കുന്നത്. Good morning, madam, and good morning, sir.
Please be seated.
Thank you.
Akhila, nice to see that you are currently working with the Postal Department.
Ma'am, I have resigned in 2013.
You have resigned?
Yes.
Why did you resign?
Madam, I was listed in the Secretariat Assistant rank list by PSC.
Okay.
I thought I would prepare for the civil service then. I was secure of a job in the future. Meanwhile, I would prepare for the civil service.
Why did you decide that the postal assistant's job will not give you a chance to prepare?
Madam,
where were you posted?
At Trivandrum North Division. I have worked under you, madam.
You worked under me?
Yes.
Okay. So why did you feel that going to the secretariat is a better option?
Madam, state government provides more leave for continuing our studies. There's a leave for better employment and leave for continuing our studies, pursuing higher education too. Thought that would help me.
Why did you think of the civil service as an career option? What attracted you to it?
This is the best that I can give. It's like take all that you have become to be all that you can be. So I thought I should strive for it. It's also a challenging and dynamic career option. You can reach out to large sections of the society.
I noticed that you have won the best student award at school and at college. Is it for all-round performance? Yes, or was there any particular area?
Academic excellence as well as participation in co-curricular activities.
Like? What kind of
elocution,
yes,
essay writing, and also coordinating activities. I was also school leader.
Okay.
So initiating things around and coordinating activities at school and college.
By any chance, have you ever participated in these Kalolsavams?
No, madam.
You have not participated. What is your view of Kalolsavams?
It's a platform for students to perform. It's to also to express their potential, and but it's also a healthy platform for budding artists.
For budding artists. Okay. Do you feel that since you said that you participated in debates and elocutions and things like that, you don't think Kalolsavam is as good a platform for elocutions and things, or do you think there is too much emphasis on the visual arts?
No, there are also opportunities for the literary competitions.
Yeah.
But I think the emphasis is also always on visual arts.
Since you come from a place like Taliparamba,
Yes, ma'am.
do you feel that people who are more in the mainstream of things in schools which are in cities, for example, have greater opportunities to participate than in places like Taliparamba? I'm asking this question simply because you said that you were a school leader, you participated in elocutions, and yet you don't seem to have thought of this stream as an opportunity to, project yourself.
Ma'am, I studied in a private school,
Yes.
and we didn't have further options for competitions. It was only limited to our schools. So we didn't have any other platforms where all schools would come up and compete.
They did not participate in.
No.
You say that yoga and meditation. Have you been practicing this for a long time? Doing this?
No, I had this yoga training during my postal assistant training days.
The Cooperative Institute?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
But I didn't do it regularly after my training.
Yes.
But later, one of my friends suggested that this would really help me. It would help to transform even my personality. Then I started pursuing it. I do meditation regularly and sun salutation every day, and a few of the asanas.
And you feel it has helped you in any way?
Yes, ma'am. It definitely helps. Meditation it's helped me to focus on the things, gives me more concentration. It even soothes my nerves.
Okay.
It has helped me in the preparation of civil service.
Do you think Malayalam language would survive in this form in 2060?
Every language will undergo a transformation during the ages, I believe. So Malayalam also will be transformed by 2060.
What kind of transformations?
I think by the words, there will be more words in Malayalam. Every language acquires words for its necessity and also for its status also. So words are undergoing a transformation. We will be acquiring more words.
Around 200 years ago, Rajaram Mohan Rai learned and spoke in Persian. Now it's Bengali. So the language, do you think that Malayalam language is getting redundant because English provides great opportunity?
So mother tongue is very important for a person, and in every language, every word has a history to tell. How it originated, how has evolved it throughout the ages. So even when a word is deleted from our language, we are missing something, and we are losing even history and culture along with it. So when a language is extinct, we are losing a vital part of our culture. So it's important to safeguard our language.
What was the mother tongue of Kerala in 16th century?
It was almost Proto-Dravidian, and Malayalam, Telugu and Tamil have evolved out of the Proto-Dravidian language, which was called as Tamil in the ancient days.
Why do you call Malayalam a classical language? Isn't it a myth?
It has a recorded history about 1500 to 2000 years.
Really?
Yes. And
How? You said it was Proto-Dravidian language in 16th century.
Yes.
What was the language used in the Travancore royal court in the 18th century?
But it had its own characteristics. Malayalam, and even at that time, the Proto-Dravidian had its own peculiar characteristics were reflected in the language at those times. It was not it could not be called as Proto-Dravidian. What existed in Kerala, what was being what used in Kerala had its own peculiar characteristics, which was different from the.
Can you tell a little bit about the political economy of evolution of Malayalam language?
Sir, I cannot recall what exactly had happened. It may be due to an. I cannot recall, sir.
For example, the whole issue of CMS, LMS missionaries beginning to use Malayalam as a language. it had also a political economy. Do you see the connection about that? Most of the printing is a business, and the Malayalam press, and which emerged in the late 19th century. What is the connection between that and economy?
Press could only sustain by a wide readership, and the economy sustained it.
So what was the first paper in the market economy?
Rajya Samajara.
First paper registered as a company.
I don't know, sir.
Which was the first society which was formed in the late 19th century for the enrichment of Malayalam language. Are you aware about Bhasha Poshani Sabha?
Yes, sir, I've heard of it.
Okay, just let me go back to international relations. What is your take on the connection between diaspora and language change?
I cannot connect it now. Diaspora.
The non-resident Keralites,
Yes, sir.
who are cut across the world, that has influenced Malayalam language, than vice versa. It has also put lots of words into English language. Have you come
Cannot
across that?
connect. No, sir.
Thank you.
Akhila, what I want to specifically ask you is, being a literature student, no, this is an internet age. Most of the literary works are available in the internet. Unfortunately, Malayalam is not on a high flyer in the internet. What are the things you feel should be done to make this Malayalam language as such more acceptable to the internet community and the youth in general?
So there should be government intervention, and government should initiate things and bring people together to focus on this issue and make initiatives for this, I believe. And there can
give me one
also
example of an initiative which you feel can be immediately implemented?
why not, sir? A committee could be constituted, and how could this scenario be improved?
I am making you the chairman of the committee. Give me one suggestion now.
Sir, we don't have any documents on official language, how Malayalam is used as an official language. It's not readily available for those who are interested in the topic. Maybe they may be available in the government sphere, but I think it should be more readily available for the public, so that the public would also interact, give their suggestions.
You said yoga and meditation, both are your hobbies.
Areas of interest.
What is the difference between meditation and yoga?
Meditation is a limb of one of the Ashtanga Yoga. You have 8 limbs, and meditation is one among that.
When I say a person does yoga and when a person does meditation, what is the difference? It's the same thing?
No, sir. In yoga, meditation is also involved in yoga, but you can practice it also either together, or you can practice either meditation alone or yoga alone.
Yeah, coming to yoga, Baba Ramdev is one person who is quite popular in India now. And recently, last week itself, there was a controversy. You are aware of the controversy?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
For a medicine which should provide sons.
Which should provide sons. I think
check.
what he was trying to project is that there are already prescribed medicines in our literature which helps woman to bear a male child. Baba Ramdev's yoga, how catchy is it? Why is that it so popular in India? What is the stream of yoga he is following?
He may be following the Ashtanga Yoga, and I think he also stresses on the Yama Niyama principles of yoga, not just alone asanas, and he is also giving a moral discipline to follow for his followers, and I think that is attracting people.
This moral concept where he says that in the literature it's already there that such medicines can be used. What is your take on that? There's a lot of female feticide happening in Punjab and other countries, other states. Suppose you are posted as the DM of a particular district. What are the things you will do to ensure that there is no female feticide?
I would strict implementation of the PNDT Act, and also sensitization of the people against female feticide. And the government is also giving more schemes like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and I would just see that these schemes are implemented well, and people are aware, and women are no more seen as a liability for the family.
You come from the postal department. What is your concept on privatization of postal department? Can't the postal department be made more effective by privatizing? Why should government do postal services?
Sir, the motto of the postal department is service before self. Even if it is making losses in consecutive years, I think it's a valuable platform for the government of India, offering last mile connectivity to the rural India, and it's also helps the government to reach out to large sections of the society. And many of the welfare schemes like the NREGA, the pensions are implemented through the post office, and it can also help in financial inclusion of the country. And it's just not improving revenues or doing business. And a government, it's also important to do service, and I think the postal department is doing awesome service in villages especially.
No, there needs to be some conceptual clarity. Anyway, thank you for your inputs.
Rahul asked you, why do you want the government to be in the business of postal services? You gave an answer, why we need not make profit. Can you come back to that question and answer once more? Why do you want the government to be in the business?
It's important to make revenue and do business, but I don't think.
Again, you are answering why we don't need profit. I'm not asking why it should not be a profitable business, why we should do it, sustaining loss. The question is, why should the government do that?
So it's an established system. You have about 1,55,000 post office all over India.
So?
Now, how can I don't believe the government would just.
MTNL, which was well established. You had ITDC. You had so many things which were later on disinvested. Why can't we divest that? Why don't we give the shares to the private sector? They'll run it more efficiently.
And sir, if then I was just concentrating on the business part. I believe if the disinvestment could bring in more efficiency for the department, it could also be a viable option.
So you agree that it can be privatized?
Yes, to an extent, so that the public sector character is not undermined.
Public sector character is inefficiency.
Not all.
You want inefficiency to be sustained? Do you feel that bringing Malayalam or any other regional language as the official language really helps? Doesn't it involve recreation of the wheel? You are reinventing the wheel. So many words are being invented just to, there are so many words in English which don't have an exact translation. So in official communications, it's very difficult. In fact, it's more difficult to understand official regional language communication than a simple English communication. Don't you feel so?
Yes, I also feel so. I do agree with that.
So do you actually need to do this? Making everything in Hindi, Malayalam, whatever.
I cannot substantiate my point. I don't.
No, you agree or disagree?
I do agree with that.
You do agree with that. We can continue to use English as our official language.
Not as official language.
Then
we can imbibe what is necessary. For like words like chalk, bench, and all, which we don't have alternatives. Where it is necessary, we can acquire from other languages. That's
you don't have an alternative for a word called bench? What is it? How do you tell bench in Malayalam?
for a literature student?
Maybe yes, you can, but it is usually used as chalk, bench, and all. So
okay. You were trying to argue that Malayalam is indeed a classical language. I didn't get the logic of that argument.
Tamil, Kannada, Telugu and Kannada were classified as such languages in 2003. I think that there was no point to deny it for Malayalam.
Is that the logic?
That is the logic.
No, it was has a recorded history of 1,500 to 2,000 years and high antiquity of textbooks.
Seriously, you believe that there's a 1,000-year history for Malayalam?
Yes, sir. It was so
1,500 to 2,000, yeah? 500 years this. Just like 1930 and 1935.
That's the general criteria.
Do you consider Manipravalam as part of Malayalam literature? Or is it a separate kind of language? What is Manipravalam?
Manipravalam, it's like you have both Sanskrit and Malayalam, like milk and water. It's said that the language should be.
Is it a precursor to proper Malayalam, or did it come later?
No, the later it underwent many transformations and Malayalam was evolved.
Would you consider COBOL and C++ as classical languages?
No, sir. They are
No.
programming languages.
But still, going by your standards, since everything is being conferred classical language, probably C++ also needs to be conferred classical status.
There should be a literary tradition too. It was not an offshoot of any other.
Okay, suppose
Maybe
you
after
are
1000 years we can give status to COBOL and C++.
Maybe if there are literary works in COBOL and C++ too, sir.
then we may consider.
We may consider.
What is net neutrality?
Net neutrality, that all traffic in internet should be considered equally, and no data user or any bit of information should not be at parity within the net.
Okay, suppose you are the district collector of a particular district, and you know a person who is very poor, from a very pathetic background. He wants to get himself employed as a part-time driver. If you put in a word to the SP, he would be able to get a job. Now there's an interview going on, driving test and everything is being taken. Now this person, you know him, he is your neighbor, you have seen his pathetic condition, his house is in shatters. So if you put in a word, it will be very helpful. Will you help him? Will you put in a word to the SP to take him as a police driver, part-time driver?
Is there an interview going on, sir?
There's a process, yeah.
Yes, sir. Then I would not influence the process.
You will not influence, 100%. But this person is in a very pathetic condition. You don't think that
I will look for other options to help him, sir. Definitely not. I will not try to
he
influence.
needs a job.
I'll
He doesn't want your charity. He wants a job.
then he'll have to undergo the process in the system. I believe so, sir.
But do you think the system and the process is reliable?
To an extent, sir.
The other people would be having obvious recommendations. This person knows only you, and you are denying him a recommendation. Other fellows, the other candidates, they would be coming with recommendations.
Then our priority should be to make the system transparent and accountable.
That's not in your hand.
Well, I will not.
Even then, you won't help him.
And I'll look for other options.
No, he wants a job. He doesn't want your charity.
I will not definitely.
You will not
influence.
help. You have you always been so unhelpful to fellow beings
No,
since
sir.
childhood?
No, sir, never.
But you have never helped anyone like this.
I know. I never had an opportunity before to influence the process and help somebody. I had done my little bits of charity, but
Can't you even tell the SP that please give him a fair chance? You won't even tell that.
sir, that would be undermining the process. There is a process. We are just undermining its credibility. Then there are there may be others also who have no recommendation.
So you have not put the word, the results are out, your person has not been selected, and you came to know that another person was selected, and that person was not deserving, your person was more deserving,
Totally unworthy fellow has been
selected. And again, if you are given a chance again to put a word, what would you do?
So even as a citizen, I have the right to information of how the selection process was done. Well, I would stick on to such measures.
Akhila, which all newspapers did you read today?
Sir, I couldn't read it in the morning today.
Okay. Have you heard of Postal Bank?
Yes, sir.
What's it?
It's a new proposal that the post office could run as a bank, and it is implementing core banking solutions across the cities. And even in some of the post offices in the cities, ATMs and account statements are being made available for the customers. But I don't think it could be viable in a short time, because the department has no expertise in handling credit. Though it's managing deposits, taking deposits and all, it has no expertise in handling credit, and more technical infrastructure also would be needed to roll out.
What's the difference between Make in India and Make for India?
Make for India, it's a call for the citizens, and it's almost a do something for India. And Make in India, it's a scheme to boost the manufacturing.
As an economic proposition, as an economic activity, what is the basic difference?
Make in India, sir, everybody is welcome from around the world. And for me, sir, I cannot.
I mean, where is the demand coming from?
Demand, I think it cannot be, we cannot rely on an export strategy because all over the globe the demand is slowing down, and even China has moved inward into its own market, and an export oriented strategy would not help India. So we will have to look into our own markets and boost consumption.
So where are we looking for that domestic demand? In Make in India or for Make for India?
Maybe in Make for India, sir.
Maybe.
So you are saying foreign exchange is not at all required for the economic growth?
No, I haven't said so, sir.
You are saying we are looking inward when the consumption is inside the country itself. Where is the question of getting foreign exchange?
Foreign, sir, but I was mentioning that the export, it cannot be an export oriented strategy when demand is slowing down. Europe is in a slowdown, only US is picking up.
Apart from US, UK and the traditional markets, aren't there a whole lot of new markets that are opening up?
No, I was just
Shouldn't
mentioning
India
that,
be
sir,
trying
the strategy
to target those markets?
So the strategy could not be to just to promote exports, but we will have to also boost our internal market. That was what.
There is a recent discussion on changing India's national animal from tiger to lion. Do you agree?
I don't think that makes a difference. Whether it be tiger
There
or
it is tiger,
But
lion,
doesn't the
cat,
lion feel
monkey.
great, once this is done?
tiger is still a royal animal, I believe.
Monkey. What about monkey?
You don't believe in symbolism.
I don't believe.
You don't not at all believe in symbolism.
To an extent, sir, we shouldn't overemphasize it.
So, what are the possible alternatives for tiger? You would suggest?
This was something there had been for many years. I don't find is there any reason to change.
You are a status quoist.
No,
Who is Patanjali?
Patanjali was a proponent of this one of the orthodox system of Indian philosophy. That's yoga, and his yoga sutras gives definitions about yoga.
Is a single man, or I mean, just like we take the versions of so many people and say that this is Patanjali.
No, he was a single man.
Are you sure?
I think so.
What is Samadhi?
Samadhi is the last stage of super consciousness, which is attained after dhyana and dharana in yoga.
But what's it?
In it, the man is in complete harmony with himself and his fellow beings, and also with nature.
You say that you are fond of watching biopics. Which is your favorite biopic?
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. What is it that attracted you to it?
It depicts how a greedy businessman has transformed himself to a great man. Its caption is that whoever saves one life saves the entire world. And Oscar Schindler was not interested in rescuing the Jews. He was just greedy about his business. Doing business was his priority. But later he transforms himself. He turns his factory into a refuge for the Jews.
Okay.
And this film depicts it. I like the film.
So here you appreciate somebody who goes against the system,
Yes, sir.
right? You told my fellow interviewers, you let the system be and you will do your own whatever you can to manage or change the system. See any contradiction in that?
As Victor Hugo says, ma'am, if an idea has to come, you cannot deny its time.
So you will wait for the time to come.
Yes, definitely, you cannot.
Can you just tell what another 3-4 biopics we have seen?
Sir, I have Gandhi of Richard Attenborough. Then we have an Iron Lady, in which Meryl Streep has portrayed Margaret Thatcher. Then Lincoln, it was released in 2012. Then Social Network, in which the Mark Zuckerberg story was portrayed. Then recently the Theory of Everything on Stephen Hawking, which was in 2012.
Nothing in Malayalam and Hindi, and also you seem to be very much interested in English.
I have watched Ambedkar in Malayalam, and in English by Mammootty.
Malayalam? Which is the reason? So you don't watch Malayalam film?
Yes, I do watch, but I cannot recall any famous biopics in Malayalam.
Have you read read the biography of anybody who is worth converting to BAPIC?
No, sir.
Nobody.
Okay, Akhila. That was lovely. Thanks.
Hi, Akhila. So, tell me, എങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു
നല്ലൊരു
എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ്?
നല്ലൊരു ലേണിംഗ് എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആയിരുന്നു.
പ്രശാന്ത് സാർ കുറച്ചൊന്ന് കുഴപ്പിച്ചോ?
ഇൻഫോർമേറ്റീവ് ആയിരുന്നു. ഒരിക്കലും ആൻറ്റിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാതെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് വരും എന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ സാധിച്ചു.
ഓ ഗ്രേറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ. സോ ശരിക്കും പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇത് ഇന്റർവ്യൂവിന് കയറുന്നതിന് മുൻപ് കുറച്ച് പ്രതീക്ഷകൾ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നല്ലോ, അതായത് ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ആയിരിക്കും ഇന്റർവ്യൂ, അതുപോലെയൊക്കെ തന്നെ ആയിരുന്നോ അതോ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് അവിടെ ചെന്നപ്പോൾ കംപ്ലീറ്റ്ലി പുതിയ എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആയിരുന്നോ?
അല്ല, ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ സാധാരണക്കാളും നെർവസ് ആയിരുന്നു.
ഓക്കെ.
എനിക്ക് നല്ലപോലെ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നില്ല.
So tell me this, how do you rate yourself in today's interview? On 10, എത്രയായിരിക്കും ഒരു സെൽഫ് റേറ്റിംഗ്?
Maybe 4.
4 on 10, even below 5. Okay, ഇത്രയും ഹാർഡ് ആവേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല എന്ന് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു. എന്തായാലും ഇപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് ദ മോസ്റ്റ് ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് പാർട്ട് ഓഫ് ദിസ് അമൃതയുടെ ഈ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം ഇമ്പോർട്ടന്റ് പാർട്ട് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ പാനലിസ്റ്റിന്റെ സൈഡിൽ നിന്നുള്ള ഫീഡ്ബാക്ക് കിട്ടുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. സോ ദിസ് ഇസ് നോട്ട് എ ഫൈനൽ റേറ്റിംഗ്. പക്ഷേ എന്തൊക്കെ ഇംപ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യാം, ഇനി ടൈം ഉണ്ട് ഡൽഹിയിൽ ഇന്റർവ്യൂവിന് പോകാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട്. സോ അതിനുവേണ്ടി എന്തൊക്കെ ഇംപ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യാം എന്നുള്ളത് ഇനിയിപ്പോൾ അവരുടെ തന്നെ കയ്യിൽ നിന്ന് കേൾക്കാം. സോ ആർ യു റെഡി ഫോർ ദാറ്റ്?
We have evaluated your performance out of 300. You know the marks are out of 300.
275.
275 is it? So you are getting a 200. Okay. So that's a fairly generous evaluation. Now we will take it upon us. Each one of us will give you a feedback.
Akhila, you were very pleasant and you were very nice. You know, when you came, your general body language was very good because you said good morning, then you asked for us to, instruct you to sit, and generally you appeared to be cool, relaxed. And the other thing was, you had this very nice smile on your face. That's a very good thing because it gives you a sense of pleasant personality. And usually your eye contacts not bad, but usually when you look at some person, you also keep an eye on others, because it's also because as it happens, people may ask the next question. Generally in terms of your answer, sometimes you don't give direct answers, and often it's very difficult to know you have a position. That's a part of a personality, because we cannot be wishy-washy, this and that, so you need to come across as somebody with a viewpoint, which is a considered viewpoint.
Akhila, the whole idea of civil service is that youngsters should be there. Why? Because they are very energetic and very positive. They come up with new ideas. So that is what the government expects from a candidate who comes for a UPSC interview. You need to break out of that safe stand where nothing new was coming from you. When we asked about how you can implement certain things, you said about a committee. That is the last thing we want from a young civil servant. You need to be very positive, bring up ideas. You don't need to be a status quo maintaining person. That's not what is required from you. I think whenever you are being asked a subjective question, analyze it properly and give an answer which it is close to your heart, at the same time practical. In the whole interview you were very safe. That is good. But being just a safe person is not what is required for UPSC. What we require is somebody who is passionate enough to do something positive for the country, and for that you might be having ideas. You need to express that. Feel free to do that. That is the whole thing which I wanted to tell you.
Yeah, Akhila, people make fun of IAS saying that it is I am safe. You just want to be on safe territory. So don't prove that before getting into it. Trying to be on extremely safe territory, not taking any risky position. Like there are things where you can afford to take different views, subjective things which showcase your personality. For instance, when you were asked which animal would you like to get as the national animal, There's nothing right or wrong. It's not a crime to say that the tiger should be replaced with a monkey. But why monkey? If it's lion, why lion? There are hundreds of reasons. Lion is really ferocious. You feel that lion has that energy. When the lion stands up, there is that majesty to it, which probably the tiger doesn't have. I mean, I'm not saying that you should say that, but what I'm saying is it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to showcase your personality, to build up a good conversation, instead of saying that the tiger has always been there, so let the tiger be. So that's a very status quoist. Even if you feel that the tiger should continue, you should have a better reason.
Tiger is more represented. Lion is always limited to one state.
You could say that there should be a reason to say that it should continue, not that it has been there, it has been throughout there, so let it be there. That is a very status.
You're trying to be very defensive. That is the whole problem.
Yeah, and please look at others when you are answering. Your eye contact was limited to the person who was asking the question, so just spare your sight to others also. And then questions like why Malayalam is a classical language. See, at the end of the day, all of us know that the conferring of classical language status has not got much to do with the age, the antiquity, or any speciality. It is all it's a political pull and pressure. So it's a reality which the board members know. It's a reality which you also know. So there is no need of any hide and seek. You can say it's a political decision, but to unnecessarily kind of say that Malayalam was existing 1500 years back, some prototype of some pre-Dravidian language, God knows, but I mean you can't say that is Malayalam proper. In that case, your logic could be extended to include COBOL and C++ as well. Seriously, so don't do that. Don't do that. Otherwise, I felt you have a good potential. You just need to brush up a bit on a couple of things like postal department, for instance. Since you have worked there, you need to know much more. That again was an opportunity when questions of privatization or efficiency, all these were asked. You were playing very defensively. Things which you could hit for a sixer, you were just defending it and not even taking a single for that. I think those things can improve.
When you are coming inside, you can always ask, may I come in, sir, or may I come in, ma'am. I think that was missing, but when all other things where you were pleasant, you were smiling, you were polite, you were fluent, these are all very good things. But to add upon the points which they were telling, every question is an opportunity. Rather than looking for a specific answer, we are looking for responses. For example, madam asks you about you were a best student in your school, college. Very rarely that opportunity comes. So that's a very great opportunity you miss. You could have taken the interview to a next level. You could have told that I have studied in such college and that college gave me this sort of experience, I had that. Then madam was continuously asking whether you got some prize in Kalotsavam. So she was to, pressurize you to tell you. But that question could have been taken as an opportunity to showcase a facet of your personality and show to the board that why you have to be selected. You have that that thing in you to make you a civil servant.
Yeah, instead of saying that our school doesn't participate in the Kalotsavam, so I have got nothing to offer on that question. See, you must be participating in so many events within the college.
I think that is wrong, because ISC, ICC schools, they have an all Kerala.
My school never participated.
But
From
then-
northern
Yeah,
region.
actually those things may be factually correct, but what I am saying is that every question is an opportunity. And to some other question you said that I do agree with that, but so they are just stopping the conversation. So it is actually we are trying to know you, so don't stop it, don't be that defensive. So so when that questions are being asked, you give answers so that your different sorts of your personality comes out. And another thing is that most of the questions actually you were not giving that depth. We have to feel that you have that depth, don't be that superficial. And especially in questions on Proto-Dravidian language, again on postal sector, again on tiger and lion, you are ambivalent. You are actually taking one stand, and when you are pressurized a little more, then you gave in. So that means that you have taken those stand without any informed thought. You were just told, you have taken a stand just when the question came, and after that you found that it is very difficult, then you are giving in. So as a civil servant, you are supposed to think about all these issues You should have your own opinion, especially on Make in India, Make for India. So those things, I mean, what all things are important that is happening in the world, you have to be, you should have concrete knowledge, then you should have an informed opinion on that.
You were asked that question on how you will be in that interview, which was to be conducted for a person of your, somebody whom you know, and he was not gone through and he was in a needy situation for that. You said that you will not respond, even though knowingly that the interview was biased. You just said that you will maintain, you will accept it. It should not have been that.
See, there is a, if you are just to blindly enforce every rule and law, you only need machines. You are a human being as well. So you are seeing something there, something needy is there, some person really requires help, you are saying you will not help. See, when the system itself is biased and it is in a compromised situation, you should be at least seen as doing something to make sure that the system is not compromised. You say that you will take the injustice. A wrong person has been selected, okay, let it be, I am not bothered. That also doesn't reflect well. You could have, there are lots of different answers which could have been given for that question. It's a situational question. Whatever you answer, that should reflect upon your personality. The only thing that reflected from that was that you will not help that person, and you will be blindly following rules and law, whatever it is, even if it is to the disadvantage of
even if you
fair
would have
person.
told you that, I mean, I will ring that person and will tell him that give him a fair chance. That could have been taken in a more positive way, because you are not asking for any undue favor. We just want to ensure that he gets a fair play field.
Yeah, or just say, please ensure that the entire selection is done fairly, because I have got inputs that there are efforts to compromise it. That itself might have taken care of the system, God knows. But whatever intervention, little intervention you made, that matters. But you refuse to do anything on that count. That doesn't reflect well. You are again escaping from the whole scenario, isn't it? You are trying to be on very safe ground. That is what we felt.
Basically it's a personality test. And a civil servant is not just an implementer. A civil servant is also a policy maker. Those both are there. So the issue of your empathy is very important. Then people say how reflective you are, and then whether you have some conviction as a person, not just yes sir, yes sir kind. A good civil servant is not an yes sir, yes sir. Will be able to, there's no need to argue, but as somebody said, you can differ, but then the board should feel that you have a position on this. If you say that privatization has this problem, then you mention privatization to some extent is good. That gives you a sense that you do not have a position. So that's very important, that clarity, conviction, sense of empathy, and sense of that you are reflective.
And also, Akila, you should be prepared with whatever you are writing in the resume. You have written about biopics, you have written about yoga and meditation. You should specifically know all this. Biopics, there are a lot of people, personalities from Kerala whose things can be converted into biopics. Being a literary student, you should have told all this. Basically, you should know whatever you are writing in your resume.
Okay, Akila, I just want to tell you, when you are appearing for an exam, which is going to bring you into a system, okay, it's supposed to be a fairly impersonal system, but the question in the interview is, are you going to occupy just the chair and let the chair dictate what you are all about, or are you going to make a difference to that chair or to the system? So you have to show a bit of who you are. Secondly, wherever you have sat, whether it is in the postal department or whether it is in the secretariat, wherever you are, your passion will come about, will be reflected in how much interest you take understanding what you are doing. For example, in the postal department, you so quickly gave in that public sector means inefficiency, and you are opting to come to work in public sector. You are working in the public sector, so are you agreeing that you are inefficient? So you need to really consider. So again, the difference between privatization and profit and loss. First of all, you know, be very clear, in the postal department we don't accept loss, we talk about deficit. You must understand the difference between the two. Then again, when you talk about the postal bank, computerization has nothing to do with the bank. Whether you become a bank or you don't become a bank, computerization is a must for improving quality of services, right? Secondly, today, you know, the RBI governor has been talking about different kinds of banks, payment banks and things like that. So this investment issue that you are talking about is slightly dated, because we were talking about those things when you were training and I was also in the system. But now the RBI governor has opened up new chapters of discussion. So you've got a lot of information to think over, and as I mentioned, after an evaluation we are giving you 200 out of 275. You really need to now figure out how you are going to take this to another level. Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best.
All the best.
All the best.